Excellent. Welcome to another episode of Starseed Activations. Welcome, Mary. Thank you so incredibly much for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's a beautiful night, and I just want to welcome each and every one of you guys here. Thank you for coming. So we are ever so gently going to start with an Om. An Om opens and expands the heart chakras, and it allows us to connect into the higher self and to feel unconditional love, dear ones. We, the star people, are ever so gently stepping forward. We will be performing a very special activation inside each of your heart chakras. If you are in alignment to receive, you may say yes or no now. We are sending a color cyan to activate deep within the heart cellular structure. This particular activation shall grant access to the flicker rate. Dear ones, the flicker rate is the rate that controls the planetary flicker. This allows access above time and space. This also determines the density level of your entire planetary body. Each individual watching, we wish for you to hold a thought form of unconditional love inside of your heart. This may feel or may look like a thought that makes you very happy. Hold that thought form and allow that thought to resonate deep within each of your cells. Allowing that thought form to then radiate in the space outside of your body. This may feel like a warmth. Some of you may feel an electrical current, and that's okay too. You may feel that love wash through you on such deep, intimate levels. And now we activate that cyan color inside your heart to grant access into unpacking and exploring the flicker rate. This personal type of activation shall allow for shifting of your location rings, dear ones. This may also allow each of you to witness world peace becoming manifest. Now we wish to conclude with an Om, which shall open and expand your hearts even further. Take a deep breath in. Thank you. We wish to start tonight's channeling by speaking about a very specific topic, dear ones. Holding emotion codes. For each experience, be it a person, place, thing, or an actual experience, is an emotion code in our verbatim. Each emotion code may be felt resonating deep within the heart. When you hold, change, or modify an emotion code, it then changes the mirror reflections each individual may perceive. The abilities that come with knowing thyself include knowing and modifying emotion codes. This may change your entire physical body. You may change your location. You may even change the character that you are. For dear ones, in this world among worlds expression, each of you holds a very specific binary codex frequency. This frequency allows changes or modifications to the outer worlds that you see. We wish for each of you to learn the emotion code of unconditional love and authenticity. When each of you follow your highest potential timeline, you may unpack authenticity, which is stepping into the world in which you are doing exactly what your heart calls for. It may be perceived as unconditional love and excitement. It may be perceived as being truthful and honest. And the way to activate in this world is by forgiving thyself. For each individual that you perceive is merely a reflection of yourself. For each emotion code that does not resonate with your highest potential timeline expression, each of you may start a process of forgiving yourself for each emotion. When each emotion code of a negative polarity is cleared from your energetic grid structures, it shall then allow you to ascend into the lighter frequency bandwidths. By allowing lighter frequencies into your current reality simulation, it shall then generate a higher density realm. This may activate world peace in your day, dear ones, for any changes and modifications to your frequency shall mirror reflect a more positively aligned world. We wish for each of you to place a little bit of focus on extraterrestrial communication and world contact. For if each of you ever so gently said thank you, star people, for helping each of us in our ascension process. Thank you for helping Mother Earth and all of humanity's ascension and evolution in a positive light. It then allows for each of you to manifest into the world that is in alignment for contact. This type of contact shall be facilitated in love. Holding emotion codes is of high value for each of you to comprehend. For any emotional shift in your baseline resonance will shift the world you see. Choose love, dear ones, and allow love to reflect back at you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, star people, for that beautiful channeling. Thank you.
Okay, I guess we'll begin with the book.
Excellent.
The page is page 16 of the Keys to My Ascension, and it is the heart casting and imprinting abilities.
Beautiful.
Oh, I have to go to Okay, I got it. The heart chakra is the main source of all emotions and has the ability to cast such emotions on a person, place, or thing in your reality. The heart energetic is directly connected into your higher self and allows for swift changes to be directed into your manifestations. One such method for casting includes heart to heart activations. A heart hug in combination with the emotion code and the thought pattern of the manifestation shall become energetically cast onto the secondary individual. This process then imprints the individual inside their cellular matrix, which encodes that frequency into their energetic grids, thus starting that frequency manifestation into their physical reality.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to start with Charlene. Can you close the side door? Because there's an echo. It's so fun. She's watching on the TV. So the heart. Now, when we do a heart to heart hug, I've had firsthand experience with this particular topic in which it was a very beautiful woman. She gave me a heart to heart hug. And then I took 3 steps back. A deja vu washed over me. Thank you, love. She just got the message now. There's a little delay.
Yeah.
I gave a hug, took 3 steps back. A deja vu completely washed over me. In that moment, I remembered 2 timelines. And I pointed at the woman and I said, "Oh my God, you were in the other timeline. Do you remember? Do you remember you were there with me?" And she looked at me like she had no idea what I was talking about. And the emotion that during the heart to heart hug, the emotion that this beautiful woman was energetically sending to me was, "I only want what's best for you." And so automatically that worked as an imprint and it shifted me to my highest potential timeline expression. Now, that particular night, I had done a channeling, and for the first time, we heard the star people come forward from that channeling. So, and then that led to questions: what happened? How did this happen? What does this mean? And the star people started giving us all answers. And the answers they gave us were: a heart to heart hug imprints the soul tubule. Now, we can use the eyes, and the eyes can imprint the soul tubule. This is also known as a subliminal message. But a heart to heart hug, it imprints your heart directly. So any emotion code that we hold, the process of heart hugging, it allows the two hearts to energetically bond and connect an energetic cord, dear ones. This then allows for any imprinting to then be energetically cast directly into the soul tubule. This then starts the process of manifestation very, very rapidly. For it is of high value to know each individual that you are hugging. Alignment, to have the knowledge of, does that individual have my highest and best interest in mind, shall be of high value for each of you to recognize. This shall also allow for each of you to harness different types of healer abilities, dear ones. For when you have the highest and best in each of your individuals' minds, any hug that you give is going to shift that individual into a world among world expressions in which they are holding a higher density level. This then may allow for spontaneous healings as well as the birth of a new personality grid complex. This allows for a complete change or rewiring of a personality and taking them from a type of lower frequency and allowing them to readjust their binary codex frequency into a higher density level. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, star people. Yes.
So they're talking about also sending love from your heart to the collective as well in the post, right?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
Which is beautiful. Yes, because we think of a heart to heart hug as something that each of us has to do one on one with people. But the truth is that we can open and expand our hearts, and we, with the thought form, we can send that imprinting to a location. We can send it to an item. So we can take any crystal, hold it up to our hearts, and we can feel that unconditional love, dear ones. This then allows for you to be very specific with your manifestation abilities. For any crystal may be imprinted in this manner, and this type of imprint shall allow for that crystal to then change the baseline resonance of the individual then holding that crystal. This allows for very specific manifestations to come into the minds of humanity, dear ones. For you may also program healing frequencies, but specific changes to the world among worlds may be programmed into any crystalline structure. This does not end with crystals, for you may also do this with a simple glass of water, for water is known to hold memory, and the heart imprinting is the highest, I repeat, the highest form of energetic transference you may exhibit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, star people.
Okay, the next thing I would like you to talk about is light language. And what
Beautiful.
is light language? So other people can know.
Light language comes in many different forms. And so, in the beginning, now we're not going to say every time, most times. However, light language is facilitated in the beginning from an extraterrestrial race. The star people are the races, because there's multiple races that work with the star people collective, that come forward in order to allow for a type of communication. This communication between humanity and the star people allows for different emotion codes, which are a thought and an emotion combined into one, to therefore be telepathically sent into the mind or biological form of the individual receiving. This light language may then be transferred onto a painting, a piece of art, a written word, or may simply be spoken in order to allow the frequencies we send to be broadcast and radiated outwards, allowing that frequency access into your realm. This type of frequency exchange allows us to make changes or modifications to your bodies or your surroundings, dear ones. However, we are also able to shift your manifestations for very specific frequencies have been gifted in the form of keys. And these form of keys is what may have potentially allowed each individual watching to show up for tonight's live. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's so funny.
Huh?
Did you know they gave us all keys? Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yep. Did anybody have any questions? You can put them in the chat and I'll make
Yes.
sure to ask Danielle.
Yes. We had one question come in asking who you really are and why people watch. So questions like that I do personally do in private sessions, as well as, dear one, we wish to allow for a type of representative to contact you directly for any information that you are seeking. We shall guide each individual watching to dive inward. Allowing the star people to communicate directly with you is of high value. 4, you must learn how to activate your own abilities. You may learn, not must, may. When you learn to harness your own abilities, dear ones, it is a key, for it shall allow access to learn how to truly know thyself. And knowing thyself shall allow advanced control over your memory grid complex. The memory grid complex is fluid, dear ones, for any experience in the past, present, or future is occurring right now in the now moment. Therefore, any memories are fluid. They may be changed. The way that they are changed is by looking inwards, dear ones. For when you look inwards, it allows for you to say, maybe that memory is not in alignment with my highest and best. I forgive myself for the memory of release. Then you may recalibrate that memory experience. Many times we start the baby step process of summoning forward that memory and then holding the emotion of unconditional love. You may see that traumatic memory. You may hold love. You may speak, I forgive myself for that memory. When that memory imprint is therefore erased or forgiven, it then disappears from your memory altogether. You simply, dear ones, forget about it as if it never happened. I know that may seem a tiny bit odd. However, most individuals watching may recognize the negative or traumatic memories surface first. The body's designed to do it this way, for knowing thy trauma allows you to protect yourself from experiencing that trauma again. When you forgive each traumatic emotional imprint, the memory is no longer needed, and therefore that memory shall no longer surface into your ego mind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star People.
I think Karen has a question. She wants to know when she remote views the ETs, do they see her?
Absolutely.
I know, that's why I had to laugh whenever she said that. I knew that already. They see you.
No,
They
they
know.
see you before you even drop into meditation. They're like, we see you. They already know. They know because it's like just imagine for one moment that the second you open the eyes and you're in the sunrise of the day, imagine like blip, and then you see the entire day in the form of picture after picture after picture after picture. That is the capability of the star people. It is not every single extraterrestrial race. It is specific to the Arcturians, dear one. However, that being said, each race does have special attunements and different extrasensory or extra psionic abilities activated. The Arcturians can see the entire timeline expression. However, just as we had explained a tiny bit earlier, that expression of a timeline is open for a fluid change or modification. Thank you.
Thank you. What's remote viewing?
Okay, remote viewing is when, so there's different types. Astral projection is when we can consciously pull the soul out of the body and we can fly around the solar system and we can see every aspect of our world as well as other worlds, interdimensional worlds, which are a part of the world among worlds expression. It is simply going inward into the astral realms and seeing or making contact with spirit guides. There's many different types of communication that can be done there. Remote viewing is more like sitting down at a table with a pen and paper, closing your eyes, and you can even take a target. Like, let's say you wanted to remote view one of the pyramids. You can have that information in a sealed envelope, and you could tell your consciousness, whatever's in the envelope, I wish to remote view. Now it's simply a matter of trusting yourself. With your eyes closed, you may see, sense, or feel, and then write it down. And the more and more you practice this, the more the ability opens and expands for you, so that you can just close your eyes and say, thank you for allowing me to view X, Y, and Z, write it all down. Now you have the information. The star people are now showing me, they're like, but you don't even have to write it down, because once you know it and you proved it to yourself that this is real, you could just close your eyes and allow it to come through like a download. And the download is like, he's showing me it's like faster than the speed of light, where it's like, and you have all the information and it unpacks as if you are looking at a photo with a photo behind a photo with a photo behind a photo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, star people. Yes.
Yeah, I astral traveled a few times while I was sleeping, and I opened my door. And when I opened the door, I saw nothing but big buildings everywhere. And I said, I'm not going out there. But one day I did go outside and I saw a being that was like hunched over, and it was kind of scary looking. So I got scared and I went back in the house. I flew back to the house. I got scared.
Yes. I had one experience, and I have talked about it on a couple of other lives, where for whatever reason I was going into the earth, and then there were fire people there. And my first thought was, I got scared, my heart jumped into my throat, and I was still there. And then I was like, oh, they can't see me. And then one of them turned around to try and touch me. So there's a lot about the astral, where there's different beings and entities and guides and things that can touch you. There are very specific astral projection instructors on the planet who are attuned to work in the astral. And those instructors would be wonderful to have a session with, or to get more information with, or even read some books, because the people who have done it are the people that you may want to learn from specifically. Yes.
I do want to learn more, and I want to be able to do it again.
Do it. We can all do it. I did it when I did a complete detoxification for 3 days. It was very limited water and no food for 3 days, and then it was very easy. So,
yeah. Okay, in the book, Accessing Multidimensional Perceptions is the next page, page 17.
Okay. I don't have the book in front of me today.
That's okay. I'm going to get it. Each individual.
I'm reading the comments kind of as I can see them. We had someone ask. So if I see it in the bottom, I can do it. But we have someone on the other video who's reading from a book, and that's Mary. Go ahead, Mary. Sorry.
Okay. Accessing multidimensional perceptions. Each individual inside the stimulation must go through trials and tribulations in order to access the next brick of consciousness. These tests all vary in the individual and the cycle repeat of emotion coding they hold. Each individual may already perceive glimpses into the fabric of time and space. These come as deja vu or mirror reflection of the frequencies they are currently holding. These glimpses will gain in frequency when proper removal of densities is performed.
Mhm. That's beautiful. So, when we start to talk about glimpses and mirror reflections, any changes or modifications to they're laughing. I listened to every single thing you said and it was like, it's gone. What was the question?
It's accessing multidimensional perceptions. You can sometimes mirror.
Okay.
Um, each individual inside the simulation must go through trials and tribulations in order to access the next brick of consciousness. These
Yes.
tests all vary on the individual and cycle repeat or emotion coding they hold. Each individual may already perceive glimpses of the fabric of time and space. This
Yes.
comes as deja vu or mirror reflection of the frequencies they are currently holding.
Yes. So the mirror reflections allow us to see the frequencies that we are holding. Any traumatic emotional imprints, dear ones, then resonate and allow for a mirror reflection according to the frequency that you are holding. Changes or modifications to the baseline frequency of your body shall then allow the mirror reflections to change or modify. This allows for identity shifts or alignments to specific manifestations to be generated in your magnetic grids. Your magnetic grids stem from the heart and include emotion codes. Now, dear ones, each time you make a shift to your energetic field as a whole, it then allows for any person, place, or thing to change. You may notice people's personalities change. You may notice colors of a car change. You may notice your reticular activating system shall shift the level of awareness or focus into something more aligned to the new frequencies held. This is all part of learning thyself. For when true knowledge of the self is identified, you then shall be able to shift the light refractal system or shift the emotional resonance you are holding. This then shall allow you to see into a new world. However, dear ones, accessing the internal circumstances shall allow you to also change or modify the light refractal system, which shall allow you to. We wish for each of you to take a deep breath in. Your multi-dimensional abilities, dear ones, also grant access into the higher self, holding unconditional love for the self we are recalibrating one more time. Any darkness is now hereby released from this live video. We are surrounding the live and all individuals watching throughout time and space with the rainbow ray, filling each heart with unconditional love, joy, and bliss. Thank you. Each individual accessing their true multidimensional nature shall start a process of observing mirror reflections. These mirror reflections you may control or modify using different emotions and thoughts alike. Any emotion code that you choose to imprint from the heart may come in the form of an advanced energetic imprint into the extrasensory abilities. This then may start a process of unlocking telepathic communication with your guides. For many of you have guides in the star people, but many of you also have astral guides as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star People. And thank you for recalibrating us. Thank you.
Just to let everybody know on the live that if you ask a personal question, it probably won't get answered. If you would like to ask the question, you can come to the Zoom after the show, and Danielle would be happy to answer it for you.
Yes, absolutely. So we do a shadow work Zoom for anybody who's new. And the shadow work Zoom is really when we come together on a Zoom in order to do energetic healings and coming together as one tribe in order to cleanse and purify the energetics. And you guys get a chance to ask the Star People your questions there. Yes.
Yep. The next one is micro perception of emotion codes, which is page 18.
Beautiful. So the micro perception of emotion codes. Now, very similar to how the Star People, wait 1 second. It's like something in the air tonight. Thank you, Star People, for this beautiful channeling. Thank you so incredibly much for bringing forward the best information that's in alignment for all people here. Thank you for helping us on our evolution and ascension journeys. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, our micro emotions, when we truly sit down and we slow time and space. So, anytime we're very, very happy, time seems to fly. Anytime we're very, very sad, time seems to go very slow. And when we go inside the heart, we can learn how to control or modify the time and space frequency wave. Now, this is of high value because when we start to slow time and we start to do this during meditations, it's rising above time and space. We're able to actually pull back and see all of the emotions and all of the memories that affect the emotions that we're holding in the now moment. There are 5 memory strings that come from the left-hand side. They all spiral together and they meet as a single cord directly in the center, right in front of the pineal gland. There is one thought stream that comes from the right-hand side. These 2 streams meet together, and then it allows for the information to flow through you. Now, this is very important because all the information in the thought stream, you have to digest the information according to your memories. So we're pulling those 5 memories. The process of slowing down time and space and looking at the micro emotions allows us to start to access the memory streams. And that allows us to change a memory in the now moment. So, what that looks like is if you have a belief system and that belief system is not in alignment with the knowledge or the information that's coming through, because you have the ability to slow down time and space, it then allows you to change the belief system or change the memory directly. This then is going to change how you flow in the now moment. This is a very, very advanced ability, but the Star People have given us a glimpse into it so that we can start to place the focus and attention on it. So, the way that we would start to open and expand this ability is just the knowledge or the awareness. There is 5 memories. So let's say we have a topic or an emotional experience come into your awareness in the now moment. Stop what you're doing, write it on a piece of paper, and then ask yourself, what 5 memories are radiating through my body, allowing me to behave this way? What would I have to believe in order to behave this way to this particular experience or emotion code? Many times we do this naturally when we work on traumas. We go inside and we say to the body and the mind, what memory is causing me to have this trauma or this behavior pattern? And when you go inside, then all of a sudden you're able to forgive yourself for that memory or that emotion code, which then changes your behavior pattern in the now moment. Now, all of this is very, very important because accessing your multidimensional nature, there's a whole process of learning emotion codes as well as how to pull the emotion code inside the entire physical body. The second that we are fully able to hold the emotion code and push it into all the cells in the body, an instantaneous manifestation into a different timeline, is going to start to form for us. This is how we shift into a different world among worlds expression, is by holding the emotion codes, radiating them, but also being able to like pull apart the timeline and all the emotions and look at them. And anything that's not in alignment with the highest and best, I forgive myself, you're out of here, and a new one will automatically form in place. Because this happens faster than the speed of light, it is instantaneous. Yes.
Yeah, I like shifting into other timelines.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I do
that's
it all the
exactly.
time.
You know what? I find that most of us are already shifting. And
Mhm.
it's, or we're seeing things, or things are different, or we'll go through some type of conversion. And then all of a sudden, it's like things changed, or we notice something is different, or a new building may be built, or an old one may be in its place. I've had that experience. And it's like, wow, this is not the same world that we grew up in. And when I tell you guys, our extrasensory abilities, they're already here, they're already online. We just need the awareness. Oh, okay, it's already activated. Now, what do we have to do? Now that we have the awareness, how do we start changing or modifying or taking control of the extrasensory ability? It's by taking a breath and slowing down and feeling into the emotions and allowing the emotions to come up and observing them. That's always the first step. And then learning how to control time and space. Now, like I said, when you're very, very happy, time seems to go very rapidly. And when you're very sad, time seems to go very slow. So when we drop into the heart, it allows us to start playing with that, because happiness and sadness, it's only a frequency. If we're able to stop and control that frequency, then the perception of time space may also be adjusted by the consciousness. It's beautiful.
Why didn't we know all this before about the timelines and everything? Why did it take this
Yes.
long for us to know all this?
It was very rapid. It was very rapid.
I mean,
I
this is
mean,
crazy.
look at in
It's
the
not
year two,
crazy, it's just
in
it's
the
awesome.
absolutely, but in the year 2000, we had beepers, right? Just think about that. We
Mhm.
had beepers. We really didn't have the technology. We didn't have the phone in the pockets all the time. And look at how far we've come in that little bit of time. And it's a mirror reflection of what our bodies are capable of doing. The process of evolution has been very rapid in the past 25 years, from
Mhm.
my perspective. Now we're stepping into a day and age in which we're realizing that we are everything. And that means that anything that you see outside of your body is all because of a frequency inside of your body. So instead of focusing on the outer worlds, we focus on the inner worlds. And when we focus on the inside, we can learn to master the emotions and the thoughts. And then we can start to play or modify the external realities as we see fit. And the manifestations are endless. It truly is a world among worlds expression, and
Mm.
each and every one of us is in our own dimensional expression, which means that in my world, this is what I see, and it's a part of my dimension. And by all of us coming together in the now moment, we are co-creating into one dimensional expression, even though it's separate for all of us. Now, the second that we all agree and we change our belief systems and all the things happen, then we step back from the video and we're back in our own dimension. And this is how you can have multiple people see one experience and everyone sees something different. It's because we're all in our own world among worlds, and we are all connected at the highest of levels. Yes.
Yeah, I used to watch videos where they would have, you would see somebody talking on a cell phone, and it was an old time video, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, did they have that technology and they were just hiding it from us?"
Yes. Well, think about this right now. So when we watch a movie, any movie, even if it's a YouTube, the now moment is co-created regardless of if the people are here right now watching on the live, right? So the people who are watching, say, tomorrow, they are co-creating this moment in time and space with us, even though right now in the now moment they're not here. So I know that that's like, what? But that's how it works, because everyone comes together to have the experiences needed to have. And time and space is only a perception. It is not solid, it is fluid in its nature. And that allows our consciousness to change physical matter. Physical matter is not physical at all. For the atoms and molecules are all under a state of vibratory frequency. This means that we can shift density or we can raise the frequency of any item, and that changes the potentials for that item. Yes.
Yeah, I was telling myself last night that I already did great because there's no
Yes.
such thing as time. You know what I'm talking about.
I do. I absolutely do. And I say the
and
same
and I
exact thing.
felt it. I felt it in my heart. I felt my heart skip a couple beats, and I'm like, "That's them telling me I already did
Yes.
great."
You did great. You already did it. That's a heart imprint, actually. So many times, and this happens a lot when people fall in love, your heart may skip a beat. When we do heart imprinting, and those people closest to me, they know, will say the affirmation, today's the best day ever. We double tap the heart because we are imprinting our own hearts. That double tap acts like a dump. When your heart skips a beat, it generates the same exact imprint as if your heart skipped a beat naturally. So when we start to imprint our own hearts, because your subconscious mind hears your words and you are consciously generating that to dump in your heart, and it gives off a frequency and it sends that directly to the higher self, which then allows you to shift ever so gently on the new timeline expression. There are many different ways to imprint your biological form. However, some ways may include using the process of visualization. Each individual here may recognize that by seeing any image may start a process of mirror reflecting said image. This is also done through subliminal programming, dear ones, for when you see something, you then may have a thought or a pure manifestation of that item. Vision boards work on the same caliber as this. Heart imprints may be facilitated through a heart to heart hug, yet may also be facilitated directly by you. You may feel into the heart. You may hold a emotional resonance of unconditional love, and you may think or energetically cast any thought form into your body, your mind, your spirit, or the location ring or civilization ring, or the body itself. This then allows for a heart imprint to be acquired from any person, place, or thing as you see fit. This all imprints or changes the magnetic energetic grids of the person, place, or thing, allowing for an energetic tubule to then manifest into your heart and the aligned experience or item or person. This is also known as a string worker ability. The string worker ability generates different manifestation chords, as we call it, allowing for specific attunements to specific experiences to be formed in the energetic grid complex. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank
The next subject is time walkers on page 19. Did you want me to
you.
read
Yes.
about it?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Please.
Okay. Let me see. A time walker is an individual who has advanced control over time and space as well as instantaneous manifestation abilities. A time walker is able to summon experientials instantaneously as well as having full control over all individual biological senses and secondary individual senses. This allows for a perception of being immortal or looking past the veil of time and space.
Yes. Time walkers are they are above time and space. This is where our evolution is going to take us in time, whatever that looks like. When we start to access and activate levels where you can see through time and space, it allows for very specific changes or modifications to people, places, things, any aspect of your own simulation or others' simulation. But it technically is all the same because there's parallel reality versions of every single person. So if, let's say, all of us come together in the now moment to co-create this exact moment, that means that you guys are all mirror reflecting me as I am a mirror reflection of you. So the time walkers, being above time and space, they co-create the now moment according to that. You guys are a mirror reflection of me. So if I choose to send each and every one of you guys unconditional love, it will then have the effect of raising your density levels. This is allowed because we are all connected and we are all one. This is also another reason why we must be in alignment magnetically to experience any darkness. So we have nothing to fear because literally the higher self or your emotional grids is in full control of your simulation. This is another reason why shadow work or diving deep into emotional traumas is of high value during these times. For releasing any density, any distortion shall start a process of allowing higher frequencies into your perception. This is also the way to start accessing above time and space abilities. However, dear ones, when you see above time and space, it is allowing for changes and modifications also to the past versions of yourself. The way to start accessing these abilities is very simply by imagining the past version of yourself. You may see or visualize your younger self. You may then start to develop two-way communication with that younger self. This allows for any traumatic emotional imprints to be released in such a way where you are bringing that inner child to your awareness, allowing for love to heal that part of you. For each individual is mirror reflecting, but they are also a part of you as one organism. Each of you connected allows a human connective consciousness to then activate what is known to us as a celestial being. Thank you.
Thank you.
Star people. Thank
You were talking about being immortal. One of my affirmations is I am becoming immortal with my DNA upgrades. And then I do my breath work
you.
with
Yes.
it. The breath of life every time,
Yes.
3 times. I say it 3 times. Do three the breath of life, and that's what I do.
Perfect. So I was doing that for a while. The immortal and the star people, they had advised me personally not to do that one because there are distortions that may manifest with being immortal. So when we rise above time and space, it's a little bit different because yes, it is an awareness of all time and space, and it is immortal. But the actual frequency of being immortal, I mean, we've all seen the vampire movies, right? That's a potential for being immortal. So they were like, do an affirmation where your consciousness is 5D. That one right there puts you above time and space, and it lets you co-create matter and have extrasensory abilities. And the lifespans are naturally extended anyway when the Earth's frequency raises. So
Hmm.
what that looks like is there's vortex energetics all over the earth already. And these vortexes, dear ones, allow for a specific type of plasma to radiate from the inner earth and radiate outwards into the upper atmosphere. This type of vortex energetic is also working with your pyramidal structures. For the pyramid having four sides allows that vortex to then raise up to a very specific point. This then raises into the upper atmosphere, dear ones, allowing the human consciousness grids, which are up in the atmosphere, to then absorb the Earth's frequency. This allows for Mother Earth's consciousness to change or modify the human consciousness grids very rapidly as a whole civilization at once. For Mother Earth is also able to control location codes. She sends different frequencies and densities to each location. This then determines what type of frequency that location is holding. Is it a nice neighborhood or not so nice? This is determined by the earth frequency, for she changes or modifies the thoughts of the individuals in that location. Now, once again, Mother Earth knows each of her children, as each of you are children of light. The process to allow Mother Earth communication into your thoughts also allows Mother Earth to shift any individual who is not in alignment with a specific density modification. This may look like the frequency may shift into a storm in that location. You may get triggered to travel so that the storm may manifest for the other individuals in alignment to receive said storm. Mother Earth is the one who may prompt your thoughts to shift, allowing you to travel during that exact moment or calibration of a storm. Mother Earth can see and sense above time and space, for the consciousness of an entire planet is above time and space. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Um, the last one is advanced perception of the binary codex frequency, which is page 20.
you. Okay.
In time, humanity will unlock an advanced viewpoint of different advanced frequencies, which include access into the binary codex of all living and non living things. This is an eternal book of knowledge and it is stored in the source frequency net. This type of viewpoint perception is going to allow for all information of the particular species in view to come into awareness of the observer. This may look like an individual walking through the woods and having an advanced viewpoint of what each plant looks like, as well as given name, the medicinal properties, and other characteristics of that species.
Yes. So just imagine, I mean, that's like, it's such magical. Like, it's so magical to like even stop and think about that. When your full telepathic abilities expand, imagine walking through a forest and imagine looking at a plant and knowing exactly what that plant heals and having communication with the plant. So it's like walking through the forest and, oh, can you help me heal this? No? Oh, thank you very much. Oh, but you can help my friend? Thank you. I will take you with me. Because the plant sees your entire memory and knows all the people connected to you because it's all Mother Earth. And Mother Earth knows each and every one of us directly. So just imagine walking through the forest and now all of a sudden, and this happens. I swear to you guys, this happens now, even though we may not be aware of it because of our perception of time and space. I'm telling you guys, this happens. You could be walking through a forest and Mother Earth knows your energetic signature and knows who you are. And then she guides you through the trail, or she knows where you're going to go. And then shifting through time and space so that if you need like a mushroom, for an example, that mushroom is going to pop up on the path. And sometimes a mushroom is like as big as your head. This happened to me. And it was like, wow, there's a reishi mushroom right on the path. And so when we start to identify this, we have a good look in your backyards. What weeds are growing? Snap an image. What is the identification of that plant? What does it heal? And then we start to recognize Mother Earth is spontaneously manifesting these plants right within our reach because she's giving us secure. How many times have we seen individuals with, let's say, a dandelion all over their lawn? And what does a dandelion heal? We know that a dandelion changes the resonance of the heart chakra, is how the star people are wording that. So that dandelion, and it's so beautiful too, because a dandelion is the flower, not a weed, the flower that the children pick up and blow wishes on. And it comes from their heart. It's a sacred plant. And I mean, just Mother Earth and the connection that she gifts to each and every one of us is so complex that when we spend more time in nature, we start to like open our eyes to the connection that each and every one of us has to her being, Mother Earth being the being. And it allows us to start appreciating and loving her more. And the more we can open our hearts and send Mother Earth love and blessings and affection, that is going to allow her to say, oh, this one loves me. Let me try and communicate. Let's sit down. Let's meditate. Here, she can shift your energetics like this. You can drop in and form that contact and communication. It does not matter if you were in a high-rise building. She is your Mother Earth, and she can send frequencies and vortexes all the way up there. You guys can drop in and you could talk to her. you may feel like you're making it up in the beginning, and that's okay too. You have to just allow your inner child to make that conversation with Mother Earth, even when you're sad and upset. Many times, if anyone has had this experience where they're sad and upset and they have no one to talk to, you'll see them talking to a tree or sitting on the earth and just talking to the earth because that's the only person there. The funny thing is that having that experience, especially as a child, it allows Mother Earth to then send healing frequencies and it washes through your entire body. So now that we are fully aware that this is how the planet that we are connected to works, it allows us to start talking to her, and it allows us to place awareness on what plants are around us. What grass is around you? Do you guys have moss? And then we take it to books and the internet. 5:55 synchronicity on the clock here. But let's say you have green moss. So we research, what is the synchronicity of green moss? What is the spiritual meaning of it? And then you're able to pull more information. What does it heal? Now, even stepping on it, how does it feel? So we start to identify the plants and the species as a whole. Now, for every single imbalance in the energetic grids, there is a plant that rebalances the energetic grid in that location. So what that means is for every single emotion code, because all distortions are emotion codes, every single one of them. Every single distorted emotion has a plant to heal that distortion. But it's not only a plant, it could also be a crystal, it could be a plant, or it could be living waters from a spring. That is what the star people are saying. So I just want to say thank you guys so incredibly much for coming tonight. We are going to end. Thank you, Mary, so incredibly much for helping and hosting and doing this. It's beautiful.
I just
Yes.
need to tell Neo, if you go to it's a YouTube channel called Astral Legends TV, you can find out everything you want to know about that. I promise. It's awesome. It's an awesome channel.
Yes. When we do spiritual retreats with people, we've been blessed to have the nature is always there, either a beach or a forest or something. And we go into, I love doing the forest ones. It's just so magical. We go in and we do activations of the magical creature kingdom. And the magical creature kingdom it's pretty much where the fae, the fairies, the gnomes, elfin people, all types of different beings are located. Now, once again, all of these beings, they're at a different time and space frequency. So when we are able to drop into that heart space, we are able to change or modify time and space as we see it. It then allows us access to see other beings who are at a higher frequency of time and space. So there's many different abilities inside your heart, which is where time space abilities are generated. Now, knowing this, it's like the easiest way to go in and to start to activate yourself is to go back into nature, find 2 trees, put your hands on both trees, and thank Mother Earth for shifting your magnetism, allowing you to access the magical creature kingdom as well as your highest potential timeline expression. We wish to send each of you many, many love and blessings, dear ones. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. Beautiful. And thank you guys all for coming tonight. I love you all, and you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I do also offer sessions. So you guys can find me at daniellelipton.com. And we are hosting a shadow work Zoom tonight. That starts at 8:30. That is free for all to come. Together we rise as one tribe, and together we come to heal. Excellent. Thank you, and you have many love and blessings from my heart to yours. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, guys.